Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to discuss about how much budget that you can allocate or you should allocate to a search marketing ad. Whenever you run a paid search marketing on Google, what is the right budget to allocate is a question that every marketer or a founder or a business owner that get get clarity on. Right. So we'll talk about that. I'll walk you through the calculations of it to come up with, as well as certain reasons behind how do we come up with a budget. Cool. So what's your budget, right? So before we get into the budget, I think it is important to understand these parameters before you come to a calculation where how can I find a budget to spend per day or per month. These are four steps I think we should keep in. You should keep in mind whenever you work on a media planning for search marketing, right? So first, to start with, use your goals. It is important to identify the goal that you are going ahead with. Do you want to drive sales? Do you want to drive leads, traffic, or just get a form fill up? What is the exact goal that you're going to chase is important to write it down and have that understanding in your mind too, which help you to kind of procure the keywords or to research about the keywords. This goal is very important to define, so hence define a goal is one key element. Second part is use the planner, the Google keyword planner, to have an understanding of what is the search volumes available of the keywords that you are looking at. Like if you are selling a toy online which is targeted to kids, and you're targeting the parents to kind of come and purchase, what is the kind of keywords that you're looking at? What would be that parents that are searching in Google, which you can show the ads for your product, right? So for such keywords, what is the kind of search volumes available in a particular market? You might want to look at the entire country as in India, or maybe few cities that you want to target. So defining that goals, defining the audience is very important, and then find these keywords, and then also find how many people are searching for it. So hence, search volume versus scale. What is the kind of scale that I can operate, or I am okay to spend, or how much I want to achieve as a goal? Say when you put a goal of driving sales, okay, I want to drive 100 sales in a month or 200 sales in a month, right? So keep have that clarity along with how many search volumes are happening within your category of keywords, and also understanding the competition intents, like how much competition is bidding on the keywords that you're looking at, what is the kind of money they are spending, etc., are very key important data points which you need to collect before we going into understand how to find a budget for search marketing. So goals is something that you should set by yourselves. Search volumes is something that you will be able to provide, or you'll be able to get from the keyword planner. Scale is something that you'll have to decide on yourself. What is the scale that you're looking at as per your objectives? Competition intents can be find out in two ways. One, obviously, if you're looking for search marketing, then you get the competition of how much competition is bidding on it. What is the kind of uh, level of competition? Is it high, low, medium, etc., which will also can be looked at from keyword planner, right? And the last two things are, which is something to need to be estimated. One, for example, identifying the estimated CPC is also something which you can pull it out from the keyword planner. So when you download the keywords that are matters for you, you also get an estimated CPC, a high and low range of CPCs, which you can get. You need to consider that and download it and keep it in your system, so that in your Excels, so that when you do the calculation, this particular metric is key to decide a budget. Right? CPC is nothing; it is a cost per click. Every click, how much are we ready to pay, or how much is the market paying for that keyword, is the estimated CPC which you will get from Google. The last one is the estimated CTR. CTR is nothing; it is click through rate upon how many impressions that you show in an ad, how many clicks that you are getting, right? So this CTR you may not get it from any tool, but talk to marketers, or at least a little bit of Google search on our industry will give you what kind of CTRs you can assume. I'll also give you an industry benchmark or very at an overall level, not we're not taking a particular industry, but generally what kind of benchmarks that we can assume for a CTR is something that I'll walk you through in the next slides. So the to summarize here, these are the four steps that we should keep in mind and also be ready with the data before we going to identify what is the budget that I should spend on search marketing. Right. While I talk about how to, in the next part, I'll talk about how to calculate the budget. I want to keep in your mind that none of the methods or none of the calculations are like, to arrive at, like, this is the budget which is gonna write in a stones in that. This is the end goal, end budget that you should spend on such. No, we will not. We are not trying to arrive that. What we are trying to is to get a direction of the budget. So keep always look at your goals. What is affordable for you? What is competition doing? So there is a lot of subjective thing that comes to play when you're deciding a budget. So hence, it is not something that is set in stone. Right? Just need to keep in mind before we discuss the calculation. So right away, let's move into the calculation. In this part, I'm trying to explain, taking an example of a category, and trying to explain how to come up with a budget to it. Make it small so that you can see. Yeah, perfect. Now, in sample media planning, so what I have done is there are two parts to this media planning. There is something called input and there is something called output, right? So, in keyword category, I have categorized the keywords into three different broad categories. One is brand. Brand is nothing; it is your own brand. People searching for your own brand. Think about a brand which you love, say Amazon or Flipkart. People who search for that Amazon or Flipkart is your brand, right? So all the keywords that is owned by your brand is called brand keyword. Generic is it can be anything. Like taking an example of again a toy category, buy toy online is can be a generic keyword which is also a transaction or a commercial keyword which can give you someone. The intent of that keyword is someone looking to buy a toy online, right? So consider this like a generic keyword, but also consider it like a transactional keyword which can give you conversions, right? The third part I've categorized is the competition. Any competition that you have which is selling, which is similar to your product, which is competing with you, right? And considering their competition keywords to bid on Google is called competition. So get all your keywords arranged by brand, non-brand, which is generic, and competition. So then you know how many keywords falls in the range of the category. And once you've done that, you also come to know from the keyword planner what is the kind of search volumes, average monthly search volumes the users are looking for in each keyword section. For example, in brand, assume that in a brand which is a small D2C brand running, selling shop online has 25,000 monthly average monthly search volumes, which means there are about 25,000 users who are searching for the brand which is XYZ toys, right? Is searching for. So that is a data that can be used as an input method in your media planning, which you will get from keyword planner. Include that, and once you get that, then the second part is the input metric, which is the ad impression share input metric, right? Ad impression share is nothing. Out of 25,000 users who are searching for, what is your best assumption in terms of that I can serve my impression? Like how many users I should serve my impression? Like what is the ideal thing? Like think about now when it is a brand, it is a keyword that is owned by you. It is something that a customer is looking for your product versus generic. It is something a customer not really don't know what are brands, but I'm maybe comparing. Maybe I know, I don't know, right? I'm comparing multiple sites, or am I looking for something to some brands to find, right? So for a brand, you should definitely ensure that you reach out to 90% at least of the users who are searching. But in generic or a generic category, it may not be possible to reach out to say 80 or 90 because there's a lot more other competition that is bidding. So you need to understand the competition index and come up with a number. Okay, at least in the first couple of months, I should be able to reach out to 30, 40 percentage or maybe I've taken example here as 50 percentage, right? Versus competition, it is very difficult to kind of bid and it is very expensive because it is a keyword owned by somebody else. So I've taken a bare minimum of 20 percentage ad impression share. So ad impression share is nothing out of 25,000 users searching for your keyword. How many times I can, how much impressions I can, or how many searches I can show my ad, right? So that's what ad impression share is. And the third input that you need to keep in mind is what is the CTR which we discussed. You need to assume a CTR, right? So these are some of the industry benchmarks that I've taken. For example, any brand keywords. If you run an ad of for your own brand keywords, you will roughly get about 30 to 40% CTR. Versus a generic, you will get about a 5 to 10% CTR, right? So this can be also very different from category to category. The type of ads that you run, it is not something that again written in stone saying that you will get 40 percentage, but it is very varying, depends upon how you run campaigns, what kind of copies, and what category of business that you are into, right? However, this also can be arrived by looking at various articles available online, which you can learn from it. And the fourth input is the average CPC, right? CPC is something cost per click, which I have already mentioned. This you will get it from the keyword planner when you're downloading the keywords. So, for a brand category, when you download, like if there are 100 keywords under a brand, you will able to find what is the average cost per click for all those keywords, and which is roughly at 10. So, generally, brand keyword would be very less costly versus a generic or a competition, because here it is a keyword that is only for you, only that which you own, versus the generic and competition is something most of the other players are bidding on it, right? So that is the fourth input which you need to keep in mind, and that's about it. Like forget about the rest of the part which I've mentioned after budget. That is something that I will talk about a little later. Keep it till budget, right? Once you have this one, two, three, four inputs, which is search volume, ad impression share, CTR, average CPC, then you will be able to get what is the output in terms of impressions, output in terms of budget, output in terms of clicks. So which I'll also show you in Excel sheet how does it work. Like so, just take a look at the formulas here. I have inputted 25,000 ad impression share and I've assumed a 90 percentage. Have assumed a 90 percentage impression share, and calculation for impression is nothing, basically the column D into column E7, basically search volume into ad impression share will you then give you the number of impressions. Like 22,500 is nothing, it is the 90 percentage of 25,000, right? And the other output which you are looking at is the budget, for example, right? Now, even before the budget, I'll talk about the clicks. The output, the formula for clicks is nothing. It is the impression into CTR, right? Impression into CTR, which is nothing, 22,500 into 40 percentage will give you 99,000 clicks. So that this is how the clicks are. Out of 22,500 impressions, 40% of the people have clicked, which is called 9,000 impression. Now, out of this 9,000 clicks, how much budget I need to spend to get this 9,000 is the budget output. So to come up with budget output, you can use clicks into average CPC, which is 9,000 into 10 will give you a 90,000 rupees budget spent, right? So that is how you arrive the budget. How much of the clicks into average CPC will give you the budget output. So to get you a 90% ad impression share and to drive a 9,000 clicks for your brand keyword, you need to spend 90,000 per month. So that's the budget that you will have to spend. So the same formula can be applied for the rest of the uh, categories such as generic and competition. On the other side, on the right side, wherever I'm talking about conversions, it is highly assumed data. However, I'll just still take a minute to explain this. This is your own backend data or purchase data. Like for example, you know from the current organic clicks that you are getting at how what is the conversion rate upon 100 visits that you are getting. How many of the users are converting to your product and buying the product? It could be a 10 percentage, it could be a 7 percentage. So I'm assuming slightly lower conversion rate for generic and combination but very high conversion rate for brand, right? So what is the right conversion rate of traffic to your product purchase is the conversion rate that you need to assume. And then what is the correct average order value? It is AOV is the another input that you can give into the system where okay every on a more average basis what is, if there are three products that you are selling on an average on a daily basis, what is the average order value that get, if there are 100 purchases happening in a day with a revenue of so and so forth, what is the average order value? These two inputs will help you to find out how many conversions that you can deliver. For example, out of 9,000 clicks that you've got with a 10% conversion rate, you get 900 conversions. And that is nothing, it is an output of 100 rupees per cost per conversion, right? Which will give you a revenue of 9 lakh because you have an average order value of 1,000. So the 900 conversions into 1,000 will give you a 9 lakh revenue, which is nothing. By spending 9,000, so 90,000 budget, you got 9 lakh revenue, which is nothing at 10 point return on ad spend. Out like basically you are getting 10 times better returns out of the 90,000 rupees that you have spent is called ROIS. I hope this helps explains